Hello and welcome to the evening news. My name is Dino. And here is the stories. Dancehall veteran Mad Cobra on cocaine and gun charges. In U.S. veteran dancehall entertainer Mad Cobra was today arrested and charged in Florence County, South Carolina in the United States on cocaine and gun charges. The Florence County Sheriff's Office says the Jamaican man, whose given name is Ewart Everton Brown, 55, was stopped for speeding. It says deputies gained reasonable suspicion of criminal activity and requested a consensual search of his black BMW SUV. During the search, 2 kilograms of cocaine were located along with a Beretta 9mm pistol, according to the sheriff's office. Brown, who is of a Fort Lauderdale, Florida address, was subsequently arrested and charged with drug trafficking and weapon possession and is being held at the Florence County Detention Center. Mom thinks cops targeting her son. A distraught mother is crying out for justice as she believes that her son, O'Dane Lester, 29, was killed by the police who mistook him for a wanted man in Windsor Heights, Central Village, St. Catherine, on June 9. I would want the police to speak the truth and admit that they killed the wrong person by mistake. Just clear his name, she said. Walker said that based on information she has received, the police were tipped off that a wanted man was standing in a lane. I was told that the person was in the lane, but my son passed and came out of the lane before that person, and without asking the question, they just shoot him, she said. I was angry because my son is a hard-working child. He just went to check on his baby because he was leaving for St. Thomas to do some road work the following morning. He was just killed just like that without any questions. I am really angry, Walker added. The Independent Commission of Investigations has confirmed that an investigation has been launched into the Lester shooting. Meanwhile, Walker said her son was a devoted father. She said Lester's death has taken a toll on her health as she has been in and out of the hospital since June. All of a sudden I have low blood pressure and my heart rate is so high that I have to see the doctors every week. I am going back to the doctor today, she said. It is the second time that Walker has found herself at odds with the state, following the shooting of one of her children. In 2013, another of her 3 sons was shot in the hip and back by the police, but he survived. She said the matter was placed before the court and the judgment was in his favor. They were trying to say that he was shooting at them, but we beat them in court. It is still before the court as we are waiting for the payout, she said. But she expressed fear that he is being targeted by the police. She alleged that lawmen recently went to his house and conducted themselves in a manner that leaves her worried for his safety. The room door was locked where my son sleeps, but the television was on and they kicked the door off and went in search of my son. He wasn't home at the time because he is a security guard, and was at work at the time, she said. The body found wrapped in tarpaulin in St. Catherine. The St. Catherine North Police are trying to ascertain the identity of a male whose body was found wrapped in tarpaulin in bushes in Hill Run in the parish. Passers-by reportedly stumbled upon the body at about 7 a.m. Wednesday. The nearby Fellowship Hall police station was contacted. The police team later confirmed the body was missing an ear and eye. The scene was processed and the body was removed. Hill Run is a quiet farming community. More pain for man shot 33 times, mother who was primary caregiver now bedridden. As he lay on his back in his 1-bedroom house in Gordon Town, St. Andrew, Adisa Alexander yearned to be in a position to aid his bedridden mother. Adisa, a multi-talented individual working as a farmer, martial arts expert, barber, and cook, had his life dramatically altered in 2020 when he fell victim to a vicious attack by hoodlums. They shot him a shocking 33 times, leaving him with devastating injuries that led to the loss of both his legs and partial paralysis in his left arm. His 63-year-old mother, Joan Alexander, became his primary caregiver, but she found herself in need of assistance after she too became paralyzed earlier this year. They now lay on separate beds in the dwelling. My mother is bedridden now and the doctors don't know what's wrong with her. My sister has to come from work and look at her, said Adisa. The doctors say don't know what is wrong with her. Her legs just stop moving. She just start to go back way and now she can't move, and is not like she old. Since his life-altering experience, Adisa has been reliant on the assistance of others. He dreams of the day he could regain independence and support his mother and 3 children. Adisa's life took a dramatic and devastating turn on October 13, 2020, when he was shot while sheltering from the rain at a shop in Tavern, a community that neighbors his hometown of Gordontown. "I got shot in my back, hip, and other places. God is so good that I didn't get any shot in my spine," he recounted. He said he does not know his attackers and had no idea why he was shot. He said he has forgiven them. In the meantime, Adisa expressed to IRI News Media TV the deep pain he feels from being unable to assist his mother and provide for his children. He yearns for the day when his wounds will finally heal sufficiently, allowing him to resume work. He remains determined that once healed, he will turn to farming as a means of making a living, even if it means having to crawl on his buttocks. "I still want to work. I have come to accept my fate, understanding that perhaps God intended me to walk for only 40 years and then crawl on my bottom for the rest of my life," Adisa said with conviction. He often finds himself reflecting on the time when he was independent and capable of providing for himself and his family. "Life can change in the blink of an eye," he added, acknowledging the unpredictability of life's twists and turns. Soldier in Congo kills 13 people, including wife, after son buried in his absence. Goma, Congo, AP, a soldier in Congo opened fire on family members and others who had buried his son before he could arrive home to attend the ceremony, killing 13 people, including 10 children, officials said Sunday. The attack late Saturday left the soldier's wife, in-laws, and 2 of his children dead before he turned his weapon on other civilians, said Lieutenant Jules Gongo, a spokesman for the army in Ituri province, where the killings took place. The soldier was not identified. The soldier arrived home from his post at another village in the province to find family and community members gathered in mourning for his son, who died Thursday of natural causes, said Baraka Muguwa Oscar, the local village chief. This soldier did not like the fact that his son was buried without his approval and in his absence, Oscar said. Elements of the Congolese army were dispatched to apprehend the soldier, a member of the Armed Forces of the Democratic Republic of Congo, or FARC, who fled the scene after the attack. "No matter what the case, the time, or the circumstances, you can't take a person's life. This is an act of indiscipline that the courts will deal with," said Gongo, the army spokesperson. Full text: PNP objects to the proposed extension of DPP's tenure, threatens court action. The opposition People's National Party, PNP, is strongly objecting to what it says are plans by the Andrew Holness-led government to seek the House of Representatives' approval this afternoon for an extension of the tenure of Director of Public Prosecutions Paula Llewellyn. The PNP says if the government proceeds with this course of action, it will be seeking legal advice with a view to taking the matter to the Constitutional Court. Llewellyn was granted a 3-year extension in July 2020. She was due to retire in September 2020 at age 60. Double murder convicts Mervyn Cameron filed a suit in February challenging the legality of the DPP's extension, contending that she has been acting in the post illegally for the past 3 years. A ruling is expected on the matter by July 31. However, in a media release on Tuesday, the PNP said it has learned that the government intends to bring a bill to Parliament to amend the Constitution to facilitate a further extension of her tenure. The People's National Party vehemently objects to the move by the government as it raises serious concerns about democratic governance and the principles of constitutional reform, it said. The PNP is calling for the government to reconsider its approach. Full statement. It has been brought to our attention that the Andrew Holness-led government intends to bring a bill to Parliament today to amend the Constitution in order to facilitate a further extension of the tenure of the incumbent Director of Public Prosecution, DPP, Paula Llewellyn. The People's National Party, PNP, vehemently objects to the move by the government as it raises serious concerns about democratic governance and the principles of constitutional reform. The PNP wishes to place the following on the record. 1. We strongly object to the decision to amend the Constitution to facilitate the extension in office of any existing individual officeholders. 2. Despite the fact that the Constitution requires consultation with the Leader of the Opposition in relation to the appointment or extension of the tenure of the DPP, there has been no consultation with the opposition whatsoever on this proposed constitutional amendment. 3. The tabling and passing of such a bill in the House of Representatives on the same day will preclude due consideration and properly informed debate on the matter and is an abuse of democratic governance and the government's parliamentary majority that is more in keeping with autocratic rule. 4. The DPP is a constitutional office, and there is a Constitutional Reform Committee in place that is considering reforms to the Constitution. This constitutional amendment totally sidelines that committee, as the committee has not been consulted or had any discussion on this matter. The opposition would therefore have to reconsider its participation on that committee, if the government proceeds with this course of action. 5. Furthermore, if the government proceeds with this course of action, the opposition will be seeking legal advice with a view to taking the matter to the Constitutional Court to challenge what is a serious aberration, and to seek a declaratory judgment as to the proper interpretation of the Constitution in this matter. The PNP calls on the JLP-led government to reconsider its approach and uphold the principles of transparency, democratic governance, and respect for established constitutional procedures. We urge the government to engage in meaningful consultation with all relevant stakeholders, including the opposition, and to refrain from exploiting its parliamentary majority for decisions that can have far-reaching consequences for the integrity of our democratic institutions. The opposition remains committed to upholding the Constitution and protecting the democratic values that our nation holds dear.